The annual Global Information Technology Report, produced by the World Economic Forum and by INSEAD, is a benchmark for network readiness and for technology deployment policies. It covers 142 countries, and this is its 11th year. With us today on INSEAD Knowledge is INSEAD Professor of Information Systems, Soumitra Dutta, who is the co-author of the report, or co-editor of the report. First of all, welcome.
Thank you, Shelley. It's a pleasure to be here.
And tell us, this year, the top 3 countries on the list are the same. Now, that's no secrets. It's Sweden, Singapore, Finland. The rest of the top 10 is a shakeup. You've changed the methodology.
So among the key changes has been the introduction of a separate pillar on impacts. And this pillar is an addition to the existing pillars of the environment, readiness and usage. So we're looking at a specific focus on how technology is impacting business, society, and government. We also have realigned the pillar on readiness to focus much more on policy-directed actions. And they include infrastructure, they include elements around access and affordability, and finally around skills. We do believe the skills component is very important, especially in a world where a large majority of the people today have access to technology, at least in the form of mobile phone. So we've also aligned the environmental dimension to 2 components. One of them is the market regulatory component, and the second one is new, which is the business innovation component. So if you combine these changes, it's leading to a different set of emphasis, which we believe is a step in the right direction compared to the previous years, and also provides the right kind of guidelines for action in the future. The issue of whether broadband and how it competes or how it enables competitiveness is no longer something in doubt. The data supports it.
In terms of the way you've measured all of this, you mentioned the impact component. What does that measure? And I see that Sweden is number 2 in this one, and Singapore is number 1, so they should be happy about this. What specifically does this measure?
Well, the impact dimension, of course, is the newest one in terms of the model addition. And at the same time, not surprisingly, it is the most difficult one to measure. And if you take a simple example like technology in schools, you can measure the presence of personal computers in schools. You have metrics for that. But does the presence or availability of personal computers or laptops or tablets in schools enable better learning outcomes? Have the curriculum been redesigned? Have the teachers been motivated to change the way they teach? Is the infrastructure of the college suited for new modes of learning? So these kinds of intermediate factors also need to be measured to come up with the right measure of outcome.
Overall, what kind of a picture of the world does this year's list paint for us?
What I see is clearly some elements of the infrastructure, like broadband, are becoming more and more important. And I do think that broadband will require significant investments around the world. But today's access is not the most important issue, even though I understand that access to broadband is important. But access to technology is becoming, let's say, more of a routine issue. The more critical and the harder question is, how do you translate that access into high-level impact for the economy and fundamentally lead to greater good for individual citizens and businesses?
Soumitra Dutta, thank you very much for being with us on INSEAD Knowledge.
Thank you very much.